Omni Sport Breakfast with MKT and Kevin McCallum.
The All Blacks will play France this weekend, and New Zealand assistant coach Scott Hansen spoke about how much he's in awe of French number 9 Antoine Dupont. He also was asked how they could limit Dupont's impact on the game this weekend.
Pleasure to watch. He's out there, he loves the game, he plays with great passion. He's obviously a great leader. His skill set, his power, he's a phenomenal player, and one I've watched for many years and really enjoyed watching as a lover of rugby myself, watching a young man play the game the way he does. And many would say he's one of the greatest already. Ask the coach not to play him. He's fantastic. He's great for the game. As I said, his love, his passion for the game, you want to see him on the field. You want to see superstars. It's what grows the game. It's what makes young girls and boys want to play rugby, and we want to see him play.
So Antoine Dupont, when I went to the World Cup last year, he was pasted absolutely everywhere, all over France. I think it's one of the reasons they were so upset when we beat them, is that they had really shaped that World Cup as though we're going to win it. I cannot tell you, literally from the airport, Charles de Gaulle, all the way into the city centre of Paris, it was just Dupont, and obviously they didn't win, but super player.
Yeah, it's amazing how many of these games are being positioned as World Cup revenge. So England, South Africa this weekend. The week before it was New Zealand, Ireland. Now this is another New Zealand revenge match. They have annoyed a lot of people. Knock Ireland in the quarterfinals, but they lost to France 27-13. And what was one of the games of the World Cup last year? It was 27. Yeah, it was 27-13.
Yeah,
Ardie Savea was awesome, but Dupont and France were on another level. Everyone, when I thought then, this is the team that's going to win the World Cup unless the Springboks stand up, and the Springboks stepped up.
Did what they do. Fresh off, of course, that win against England last week. Let's move over to the Wallabies. Australia will play Wales this weekend, who lost to Fiji last week. And Joseph Sua'ali'i is the man on everyone's lips. Wallaby stalwart Len Ikitau gave his thoughts about the young man's debut in the outside centre role.
On the field, it's awesome to see, and just expecting more from him now. He's had his first game. I thought it was awesome to see him defending in that 13 channel, because I know as a 13 it's pretty hard to defend, and I thought he was awesome in that space, and then just wanting to be involved and wanting to get the ball, so that was good. Honestly, we saw all of that at training. Like, he came in, learned what he needed to learn, and he just showcased his skills on the field, and man, it was awesome to see.
21 years old, Joseph Sua'ali'i, this weekend. I mean, that's going to be awesome. Good for him. They're going to hammer Wales, by the way.
I think so. I can't see them changing much. I know they've had to make two changes, both injury related. You'll see Jorgensen on the guy who scored the winning try on the bench on the wing again. And Wales have actually named 4 changes for their team. But Jamie Roberts, who the big backline player who's actually played for the Stormers at one stage.
Jamie Roberts.
Excuse me, that's right, he is, absolutely. Yeah. He actually got stuck into him. And now Gatlin is responding. Gatlin is putting out fires. And there was a great headline that said, £600,000 a year and we get this crap.
Yeah, I mean, that is a bit of a situation. What's up with Wales' obsession with Warren and Gatlin?
I don't think they have anyone else that they like, or that's good enough. I'm looking at the assistant coach's bench, and Robert Hyde's there, but he's still under a cloud for that betting scandal, and he's back again, and he said he's rehabilitated, but that scandal will sit with him for a long time, and there's no one of the quality of Gatland. It's not a problem with the quality; it's a problem of the quality of the coach. It's a problem with the quality of the players.
The problem is you have to live in Wales. I mean, that is one dreary. It's one of the most dreary places I've ever been to. Good singers though, good music.
Yeah,
so
best anthem, second best anthem in the world.
There it is, second best anthem in the world. Yeah, there we go. Tom Jones. Tom Jones is from there, just like every other Jones. Stephen Jones, your mum's a Jones, whatever other Jones. So Australia will play Wales this weekend. Quite the game there. Joseph Sua'ali'i, the man to look out for. Let's move over to the football. England play Greece tonight. And Southampton centre-back Mr. Harwood-Bellis spoke about his delight at being called up to the big time by Lee Carsley, who had actually coached him through the age group levels.
So I really took pride in being called up for the 21s and all the way down to under 15. So to be obviously called up for the first team, I knew it would be obviously a tough ask, and with the quality that's in the squad. But as you said, he always said if you're playing well at the top level and doing the best you can, then there'll be a high likely chance to get called up, and he stuck to his word, and so I'm really happy.
I kind of like what Lee Carsley is doing because he grew up with these youngsters. It's nice that he's broken the mold. You remember there was a time where basically you had to play for the so-called Big Four to get into the England team. I mean, I know he's your guy, but there's no way Jamie Carragher should have been in the England team ahead some of the centre-backs that were there in that England. I mean, there was a time when he was getting in the team ahead of Sol Campbell.
He was bang on ordinary. He was a good player, but he looked awkward all the time. And he started off as a striker. Yeah. He just looked, like I keep on saying, bang on ordinary. But he did a job. Yeah, you know, he was almost. I'm trying to think of that. There have been awkward looking defenders, but he was arms and legs and toes and knees, but he got a ball in here. He would kick. He scored more. I think he scored more own goals in one season than anybody else. I think he's got 6 own goals.
Yeah, and I mean, but he played for Liverpool. That helped back then. Whereas Lee Carsley now saying, doesn't matter. This young man has been captain for Lee Carsley through the sort of the age groups. He's a Southampton. They love him at Southampton. We know Southampton's production line is absolutely unreal, and he's willing to pick them. And I love that about Lee Carsley, willing to break the mold. I think that's really, really important for, especially England. England isn't really producing the kind of guys that are getting into these big sides, right? Very rarely. You got Madueke, Cole Palmer, Foden, Grealish is on the bubble. But other than that, you know, a lot of the English guys are sort of on the outside. And this next generation is kind of struggling now, again, to produce top-class guys. And he's willing to pick these guys. I absolutely love the fact that he's willing to pick them. The young man also spoke about the challenge of actually staying in the squad now that Thomas Tuchel will be coming in January.
And now for this camp, it's going to be a tough ask to stay in this role and to stay in the senior squad. So I think that's something that especially the young lads will be pushing towards, trying to keep your spot. It's going to be difficult because the quality and the experience in some of the lads that aren't here is massive. So yeah, it'd be difficult, but it'd be something that I've got to focus on week in, week out at Southampton, and if I get minutes here.
Having said that, a lot of their players are doing brilliantly overseas. I think England they're in a sweet place right now. If they can I don't know how it's going to work with Tuchel, but talent now can't be the excuse. Surely not.
Yeah, I mean they've had all those withdrawals, and Carsley is not giving a crap at the moment. He's just changing players and testing things. When he's played Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden as false nines, and he's just added. So Jared Brathwaite had to pull out yesterday. He's been replaced by Liverpool's Jarrell Quansah, who I think is a star in the making for the future. But look at the people who've pulled out: Trent Alexander-Arnold, Levi Colwill, Cole Palmer, Declan Rice, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Bukayo Saka, Aaron Ramsdale. And now, for what the Guardian reported this morning, Harry Kane won't start.
Well, that's opened up an opportunity. Yeah, it is a big thing. But what it has done is one of the most exciting English talents that's playing for Aston Villa is Morgan Rogers, who's obviously, because of those withdrawals, had the opportunity to come in. He spoke about the delight of being called up.
Players that you're surrounded by, the players that you watch on TV every week performing at the high level. Obviously I'm a big England fan, so I've watched all the internationals growing up, so playing with these players now it's a pinch me moment, but I'm just really excited to learn what I can to see what it's all about and to show what I'm about at the same time, and I'm going to enjoy the week and take it for what it is, for sure.
You've read Fergie's book. I mean, he used to withdraw his players all the time, even if they were fine. So I think we know what's going on here. There's just so much pressure at Arsenal. They cannot have Saka. There's too much pressure at Chelsea now. Cole Palmer, you know, all these guys are pulling out. Liverpool will want their kids out. I understand it from the club side. It's like, you don't pay them, we pay them. And especially now we're going into the Christmas period. Forget it.
Yeah, I can understand why Liverpool pulled Trent on. I mean, he did go off the field early with an injury. So that's probably the only one I can see. But the rest of them, you're going, and the guy's going, just limp harder. Why are you not limping harder? No. Drag your knuckles on the floor.
Listen live and on demand.
Welcome to Omni Sport.